Okay, guys, unexpected live stream. About 10 minutes ago, the Metro Nashville Police Department announced that Riley Strain's body has been found. This is the 22-year-old student who's been missing since Friday, the 8th of March. So this is their report here. The body of Riley Strain was recovered from the Cumberland River in West Nashville this morning, approximately 8 miles from downtown. No foul play related trauma was observed. An autopsy is pending. So that's what we've got to go off. There is a media briefing, apparently. I have seen that reported. Hold on a second. I can't remember where I saw it now. I think it's 9:45. 9:45. I'm sure I saw it. I just like saw this and just instantly went live. Medical examiner's van has just left the scene, according to Jennifer Coffendaffer. Okay, this is happening now. Metro Police confirm they're working to remove the body from the Cumberland River. No indication that the person's died. No. Well, they have now identified that it's Riley. I mean, obviously, it's pending an autopsy. But I think they know who it is. So they're just leaving the scene. All these guys. So what's 9:45 my time? I'm so confused. Is Nashville Central? Anybody? Central time. Okay. Want to know where to watch this press conference? Don't want to know about Ruby Frankie. Caleb Harris is still missing. Okay, so it should be like right now. It should be happening right now. Hold on. Let's see if it's being streamed anywhere. Let's check it out. Okay. If anybody knows where it's streaming, let me know. So we can always rewind. Hold on a minute. Nashville PD. Okay, I'm getting this. This is on their Facebook. Searching and can't find anything. That's weird. So media briefing we held at 9:45 at 1741 Ed Temple Boulevard. So no, they're not bothering to. That's just weird. No, WFLA have not been covering it. Huh. Hold on. All right, let me see if I can just find it on Google. Let's have a look at CNN. No, nobody seems to be. News Nation. No, they're not. Hold on, I'll have to put my VPN on to go to newsnation.com. So if I disappear for a second, I will be back, honestly. Sometimes just knocks me off my internet. Just my VPN's now on. Let's have a look. With News Nation, I've got it on. Fox 2. Hold on, I've got this on News Nation. Watch. And then just a white screen. What do you want me to watch? This is so annoying. What was that? WFLT2. What, on YouTube? Oh, these impromptu press conferences are so annoying. WFLT2. Is that even a YouTube channel? That's not even a YouTube channel. Hold on, I'm just going to do this. This is so annoying. You would think they'd have said where to... No, I don't think... I've caught TV got it. Channel 5 Nashville. Hold on. No. I don't think the news has caught up. I honestly don't think the news has caught up. Court TV. I'll try courttv.com. Here we go.
Including the media, for everything that you've done, for the countless tips that came in. We received nearly 200 tips as of yesterday that we were vetting out. So at this time, the family's been notified. There will be an autopsy, more than likely sometime today, and we'll have a little bit further from that point. So thank you.
Chief, can you tell us, is there any other additional evidence that points you to the theory that it seems like you've been going after for a while now? It's just that he fell into the river, accidentally?
Yeah, there's no other evidence that suggests anything other than we have reports that normally under these circumstances with his height and weight, that he could have surfaced between 14 and 20 days. This is the 14th day, so we were really expecting anytime soon to find him. In fact, our search teams was going to put in the water here this morning and then search from this point further down. So we were in the right spot. It's just unfortunate, but there's nothing to suggest anything other than any foul play at all.
You said that these were crews that were actually looking for him that found him?
Yes, that's so there's workers typically on the river, whether it's barge companies, concrete companies, other businesses that actually are on the river, and they look routinely. It's happened countless times before. And as they moved, I believe, a barge, and don't quote me on that, they removed something from the river, and as they moved it, they noticed Mr. Strain, so and called it in.
Typically work on the water. They weren't necessarily search crews.
Right. Yep.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, that was an update from Metro Police.
All right. Obviously, not the news that that family was looking for. Good morning. I'm Ted Rollins, taking over for after Julie Grant's show. The bottom line is this young man who has been missing now for several weeks has been the focus of a lot of people's attention. Prayers, not only prayers, but people actively searching for this 22-year-old. He was a University of Missouri student, disappeared while on a...
Okay, so we caught the latter end of that. I'm sure that the news... I've got a hair in my mouth, excuse me. Okay. I'm sure that that was live, so I couldn't go back more than a couple of seconds, but I'm sure that the news will put it on. There'll be various channels where the full conference is played, but I don't think there's actually very much to say, honestly, other than that there's no sign of foul play. So it doesn't look like he's been shot or stabbed. This is obviously just a rudimentary checking of him on the scene. You know, stabbing, shooting, they're obvious. Blunt force trauma to the head's obvious. So nothing like that appears to have happened. The autopsy, he said, will be done likely today. And they'll get a fuller picture once the autopsy's completed. They will do toxicology. That will be... tox is done as standard pretty much in autopsies. Certainly in my country it is. But that can take 4 to 6 weeks, if not sometimes longer. It depends on the busyness of the labs, etc. I would imagine that we're going to find out that Riley was intoxicated. It's just to what point and what substances he might have had on board, as well as alcohol, will be obviously an important point to find out. But I don't think it changes the fact that he was in the river 8 miles. He'd gone 8 miles. So not close, not even close to the dam, which was 40 miles away. 8 miles, and some workers were removing something from the river, and there his body was. So his body had obviously got stuck somewhere at the edge of the river. So obviously it's just a matter of time before someone found him. But it's in the right time frame. It's 2 weeks today since he went missing. So, you know, it's exactly the right time. Do you remember the river float times that I've talked about a few times? That in 50-degree water, a body starts to float between 10 and 14 days. Well, here we are. We're on day 14. Almost day 14. So, yeah, workers found him at 7:45. So science prevails. I mean, science is very predictable. It's a very well-researched topic. Obviously, it doesn't mean to say that in every single case a body will float in 50-degree temperature in 10 to 14 days, because it can depend on a bunch of environmental factors. As that body become lodged underwater, that means that it can't float. But unimpeded, in 50-degree water, a body will float 10 to 14 days after the drowning took place. So in this case, just fortunately, somebody found him. And we say fortunately because at least now his parents and his family know what happened to him. They know he was in the river. They're not perpetually hoping that he's wandered off in some dissociative fugue or he's been kidnapped and he's being held in someone's house. You know, the cops have said all along that they thought he was in the river. Everything pointed to the fact he was in the river. My question has always been, how did he end up in the river? If there's no obvious signs of foul play and there's nothing else on the autopsy that would indicate otherwise, they will say it was accidental. Yeah, said there were extra boats out last night. Yeah, everyone with the boat joined in. Yeah, I told you that once we get to day 10, what you'll see is an increased effort. There's, in a river like the Cumberland that was high at the time that Riley disappeared, it was fast flowing at the time. Where he most likely fell in was 25 feet deep at that time. It was too dangerous for them to put divers in. And they had absolutely no idea how far he would have gone because of the conditions, the amount of debris that might have impeded the body, at least for some of that time. So the most effective use of police resources, actually, up to day 10, scour the banks, look for, in case he's not in the river and in case he's stumbled down the bank somewhere and he's trapped and he's hurt. Yeah, absolutely do that. But the best use of police time in that first week was getting as much surveillance and witness reports as they could. And they did that. We got a really good track. They knew exactly what direction he walked in, what route he took, what state he was in. They got all of that done. All of that was well done. They've done a good job. But like I said, I told you at the weekend that we were going to see an increased force, not just cops, but, just everybody who knows this stuff. We're going to see it in this coming week because search and rescue organizations, the police, they know. They and if they don't know, it's not something they're familiar with, then they consult an expert and the expert tells them, at approximately what time, what day that body is going to start to float. They can predict it within a few days. The other big thing I think that is very, very important for us to reconcile now is that he was wearing the clothes that he disappeared in. So nobody stole his shirt. He didn't take his shirt off. We did speculate that maybe he took his shirt off because he was sick and he'd vomited down it. That I think her name was Sabrina, who talked to the Pascal show, who said that she'd seen a homeless man wearing that shirt, and the store, or at least a shirt like it, obviously wasn't that shirt because Riley was wearing it. But she saw what could have been Riley's shirt, and the story was that young man found it on a railing, and it had vomit on it, so he brushed it down and just wore it. It could have been someone else's shirt that was hung on a railing, or he could have got it. What we know is that wasn't Riley's shirt. So Riley didn't have his shirt stolen. The most likely thing was, therefore, that his bank card came out when he fell in the water or during his tumble down the bank. He may have even been holding his bank card with his phone. Yeah, she did. She described the light part as bright white. Yeah, she did. What about his credit card that was found near the water? Is this true? Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. 100% true. Yeah. Two TikTokers found it. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it with his name on. Yeah, it's absolutely true. It was found on the bank, and it sounds like it was quite low down on that embankment, possibly before the water level dropped, because the water level had dropped 6 to 7 feet by the time they got there. The chances are it was clean because it had been underwater, maybe in the shallow area, and then once the water levels dropped, then it's just right there. I think just my personal thought, just based on what I used to do and what other people I know used to, is you put your card, if you're paying with your drinks with your card, you don't keep putting it in your wallet each time. You know, I never used to take a wallet out with me. But if he had a wallet with him, because he had other things, you know, to take, ID and whatever, then the chances are he wasn't putting his card in his wallet every single time. He was just putting it in that top pocket. That top pocket, if that's a usable pocket, you know, not just a pretend pocket to look fancy, that's a usable pocket. He was putting his bank card in that top pocket. And as he's tumbled, you know, it's not zipped up, it's not buttoned up, and that card's just pop right out. We'll never know that. We'll never know. But what we can say is Riley's shirt was not robbed, or he didn't take his shirt off. He was found in the clothes that he was seen in on that surveillance. You always carry a loose card. Ziggy's in the other pocket. There you go, you see. There you go. So I'm curious as to whether YouTube's got the press. I just want to listen to the first bit of it now. See if the YouTube's got it. Probably not yet. But I'll go and watch it later. Can't see that they've got it. I'll refresh. Oh well. Oh well, not to worry. I'll go and watch it later. But yeah, very sad. Predictable. Expected. Very, very sad though. Very sad indeed. So we'll see what some of the reactions are on Twitter. Let's see if there's some. Let's see if there's some pictures. I mean, just so tragic. Just a life that's just needlessly, endlessly. I mean, just lost. Just lost. See what these guys are saying. Come on, you can do it. Oh, I've got the spinning wheel of death now.
There's a lot of details yet to be released, to be found. We do know that the chief of police and 2 department spokespeople are on the ground. So we anticipate at some point there will be information put out, hopefully a press conference that I can bring.
Why does it do this? Great shot of someone on the phone.
But we'll get the latest that they have, WKRN. They're on the scene.
Mile radius from this point. So scene. So we'll keep you updated here on Scene Blake. But for now, back to you.
Okay, well, that is clearly breaking news. I'm updating some of the descriptions here on YouTube, but that is Riley Strain. We've heard from WKRN reporter that be connected to Riley Strain. But we'll listen in and see what the latest this reporter has when they go live.
Blake, good morning. Riley has been found this morning in the Cumberland River about 8 miles from downtown Nashville. So this area has been covered with Metro Police vehicles, fire departments, and just recently a medical examiner transport van left the scene here. We are expecting to hear directly from Metro Police in just a matter of minutes, but from what they have shared with us so far, we understand that no foul play trauma appears to have been involved, and a full autopsy report will be pending. But of course, we are thinking of his family this morning as they have been very involved in this search process, now 2 weeks out from when Riley was last seen. So we'll keep you updated here on Scene Blake. But for now, back to you.
These guys might actually have the presser. Maybe. Let's have a look. I want to watch more videos. I want to watch Super Nanny.
Give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's watch the bits of the presser that we missed. I'll mute out.
Looking around. Okay, here. All right. This morning we have a unfortunate update for you on the Riley Strain search. Chief John Drake, Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, will be speaking with you. Chief Drake.
Thank you, Don. Good morning, everyone. This morning around 7:28 a.m., we received a call from a worker on 61st Avenue at a company that adjoins the Cumberland River that had been searching for anything that would pop up on the river, especially looking for Riley Strain if he would surface here. As they were removing an object from the river, they noticed what appeared to be Riley Strain pop up. The fire department was called in, retrieved the body from the river. The medical examiner's office reviewed the body, and we've confirmed that it is Riley Strain. The family has been contacted. There are no signs of foul play at this time, according to the examination here at the riverbank. Mr. Strain still had the shirt on that he was wearing, still had the watch, and other identifying factors that helped us identify who he is. I want to say to the family, my heart and prayers go out to you all for this very unfortunate and tragic incident. I also want to say thank you to the Nashville community and the outpouring community of the outpouring support from the community in trying to help us locate Mr. Strain. I also want to say thank you to our USAR team and to the fire department and OEM and TWRA and everyone else, and including the media, for everything that you've done, for the countless tips that came in. We received nearly 200 tips as of yesterday that we were vetting out. So at this time, the family's been notified. There would be an autopsy more than likely sometime today, and we'll have a little bit further from that point. So thank you.
Chief, can you tell us, is there any other additional evidence that points you to the theory that it seems like you've been going after for a while now? It's just that he fell into the river, accidentally.
Yeah, there's no other evidence that suggests anything other than we have reports that normally under these circumstances with his height and weight, that he could have surfaced between 14 and 20 days. This is the 14th day, so we were really expecting anytime soon to find him. In fact, our search teams was going to put in the water here this morning and then search from this point further down. So we were in the right spot. It's just unfortunate, but there's nothing to suggest anything other than any foul play at all.
You said that these were crews that were actually looking for him that found him?
Yes, that's so the workers typically on the river, whether it's barge companies, concrete companies, other businesses that actually are on the river, and they look routinely, as it's happened countless times before. And as they moved, I believe, a barge, and don't quote me on that, they removed something from the river, and as they moved it, they noticed Mr. Strain, so and called it in.
Typically work on the water. They weren't necessarily search crews.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief, I have a question for you.
So we've just heard from the chief of the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, John Drake. Chief John Drake.
Okay, so that was the completed presser. And I don't suppose they were in any doubt that it was Riley because of what he was wearing. Very distinctive. We've all been, known exactly what Riley was wearing. So right there. So when they say no sign of foul play on the first basic examination, they mean there's no sign of the common ways that someone would murder another in something like a street fight or a mugging. So you're looking at a shooting, a stabbing, or blunt force trauma, like obvious blunt force trauma, like if someone had hit you over the head. Now, obviously, that's just on the surface level. If they find something at the autopsy that wasn't immediately obvious, like a broken hyoid bone, for example, which could indicate that he'd been strangled, there's that, but you won't see that on an external examination, as someone's being lifted out of the river. So at the moment, there's no obvious signs of external trauma, therefore no obvious signs at the moment of foul play. But the autopsy is going to tell obviously more. But if there's no obvious signs after the autopsy, then they will conclude that it was accidental. And honestly, it most probably was, because that cop, who was only, a few hundred yards away from the bridge that Riley went under, and then there's another bridge, that cop was there for 45 minutes. He didn't hear anything, didn't hear anybody, shouting or a gunshot or anything like that. So we'll never know whether someone pushed him in for a prank. We'll never know that. But it's more than likely he's just stumbled off over that little fence and into the river. It's just a trip and unfortunate, incredibly unfortunate. Can we get one of your overhead map of all surveillance cameras, bridge, and where the body was found, pretty please? Well, I don't know exactly where the body was found. They said 8 miles away. So I do have... Let me find it. See, I wasn't ready to do a live stream, so there was a handy dandy graphic that I saved. Probably can't find it now. Oh, there it is. Got it. Right. Hold on a second. All right. So this was shared in I think it was the Daily Mirror. Based on what the family had given them. So Luke's 32 bridge. He walked down here. He was caught on surveillance on this street. This is where he fell. He was on Church Street. He was going across a parking lot and he fell. Then he went across the intersection from First Avenue onto Gay Street. And then he walked along Gay Street. It was just before this bridge. This is the Woodland Street Bridge here. It was just before this bridge that the cops saw him. So he was right next to the river here. The cops saw him and he said hello. It was in this exact area at 9:58 that his phone last pinged. And then there's another video. Now, some people have done breaking news. There's a video that we haven't seen. Like, I've seen that over the last few hours. No, we've always known that there was a video, a final surveillance video that the cops hadn't shared. We've always known that. The family told the media that days and days and days ago. I don't know what day this was released, but it was several days ago. I want to say it was about a week ago that this was released. In the vicinity of the next bridge, the James Robertson Bridge. That was the last surveillance video of Riley. And it showed him checking his phone. Now, what did I tell you I thought Riley was doing? If anybody's been watching my live streams, when he was crossing the intersection of Gay Street and First Avenue, which I'll get up on the screen now, just give me a second. Gay Street, Nashville. When he was crossing this intersection, this one, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let me just find it. Okay. All right, this intersection down here. So he's come out here. There's Church Street. So this is the area where he fell. There's the parking lot. That's where he fell. All right, comes up here. He gets to this intersection here and he crosses here onto Gay Street. So he's walking along here. He comes along here. Or it might be this way. Coming along here. And he stops. And there's a couple of girls that kind of look at him. And he's got his phone out. You can see the light on his phone. And I said, he's lost. He's checking his map. He's checking his map. That's what he's doing. He's lost. We find out that this last, so he walks along here, walks along. It's about here that he sees the cop. Cop speaks to him. Walks along here. Last phone ping is in this vicinity at 9:58. So somewhere around here. Obviously, a phone ping doesn't give an exact location. It doesn't. It can be a little bit off. So the phone could be here because the camera from this bridge shows him in this vicinity stopping and looking at his phone for about 6 or 7 seconds. And then the camera loses him. It's at that point, I think, where he stumbled and fell into the river. So at this point, what you've got is a small wall. What if he sat on that wall just to steady himself? Or maybe he didn't even make it. It won't let me under this bridge. Oh, it's let me under the bridge. No, it hasn't. Never lets me under that bridge for some reason. Okay. But it's in this vicinity, okay? This vicinity. I've been telling you this all along. This is where his bank card was found, right here. The girls who found it were interviewed here, next to this green railing here. His bank card was found in this vicinity. So he's gone in here. Gone in here. Or maybe just over the other side. Is there a camera there? I think the camera's on the other side. But anyway, it's in this vicinity. And they knew that he'd not gone, because people were speculating that he may have gone up these steps. So I think the camera's here, actually. Because they knew he'd not gone up these steps. Because people were saying, what if he went up these steps? And they said, no, he was on surveillance. He did not go up those steps. He kept walking. So he would have walked along here. I bet he fell in. He crossed the road and fell over this wall. Because if he was on surveillance and they knew he'd not gone up these steps, then he had actually made it over this bridge. Or under this bridge, rather. So it would have been here. More than likely, around here. And they know he's not gone past this building. They knew he'd not gone past here, because this building's got camera that would have caught him. So if he'd have gone up these steps, they'd have known. If he'd have gone along here, past this building, they would have known. But he didn't. So the only other place is over. Ah, the fences along the river. We're looking at them, Vera. We're looking at them right here, Vera. This is a wall. The river is over the other side of that, down a 30-foot to 40-foot cliff. So it's about, I would say about 3 feet high, that wall. There's some areas where it doesn't have any fence whatsoever. So if you've been watching my live streams, you'll have seen me going all along here, showing you that in some places there's a little fence that you could just fall over. In some places there's absolutely no fence whatsoever. And then when you get under this bridge, which it doesn't let me ever go under, then it's a wall, but it's only a small wall. And there's a place that he could potentially have been heading, because his hotel was in the other direction. If he'd gone from Luke's 32 bridge, which is where he got kicked out of, instead of going straight up and then veering right, if he'd have gone left for about 5 blocks, there's his hotel right there. But he's unfortunately, there's 2 businesses with very similar names. Very similar names. His hotel was Tempo at the Hilton, but there's another business called Tempo in Nashville. So I think it's called Your Tempo. And where is it? Well, let me just find it. It's right there. Right there. So he's put Tempo into his maps, and he's not realized that this is not his hotel. He's following the directions for this business, which is actually a software company. But where is this business? There. Where was Riley last seen? There. There. The last surveillance is here. Riley was walking up here. He was going to walk up here. He was going to probably go around here. Hold on, to get my little map up here. Your tempo. Hold on, lost it. That's Jefferson Bridge. Why is it not giving me? Let's do it again. Hold on. There. So he was last seen here. So he's going to go up here. He's thinking, all I need to do is carry on walking along the river because my hotel is right there. So he's going to carry on walking up here, and then he's going to do that. And there he'll find. There he'll find that actually your tempo is not a hotel. It's a software company. But probably to a drunken person who gets up Google Maps to try to, I don't know, find the directions to the hotel, they look at that picture and that looks like a hotel, doesn't it? They're not going to be able to read the small writing along here so that says it's a software company. So he's just got it into his head, tempo. So the reason why he was walking with conviction and kept looking at his phone just to make sure he was going in the right direction was because he was following the directions for the wrong business. It's it makes a massive amount of sense, because we were all like, why was he going in completely the wrong direction? Was he that drunk that he was going completely in the wrong direction? Well, he was drunk, but he wasn't that drunk. He wasn't that drunk. He thought, oh, it's not far. I'll just get this on my maps. Oh, it's just near the river. So if I just walk down near the river, walk along the river, and it's right there. He's just followed the wrong tempo. And whatever made him trip, whatever made him stumble, it happened along here. And these banks, there's been some really good footage that have come out from people who have been there in the last few days about just how steep this banking is. And at the bridge, I showed some footage on my last live stream on this case. If you look from where that bridge is there, straight down, it's just a sheer drop. There's places along here where the homeless people live, where there's like ledges, where like they put their, sleeping bags and tents and stuff. So in some areas, there's actually ledges. So if you fell from the street, the street height, you wouldn't fall into the river. You'd fall onto a ledge, hurt yourself. But there's people who sleep on it. So it's a ledge that will catch you. But near this bridge here, the footage that's come out, you can't tell from this, but it's literally a cliff. It's a sheer drop down. So it's just, I guess, it's a warning to everybody that be very, very aware of your surroundings and get it into your head that you know exactly where you're going. If you've been out drinking and you leave a bar or you get kicked out of a bar, just make sure that before you've got that drunk, that you've drummed it into your head that you know what direction to go in. Because if he'd have known what direction his hotel was in, and then he thought, oh, I just need the directions, at least he would have known that plugging in your tempo was wrong. So So there you go. Now, where he was found was 8 miles downstream. Now, I don't know how far 8 miles is on this map, but they said it was West Nashville, so probably looking at around here. Oh, let's do directions to here from Gay Street. So that's 8 miles. Now, obviously, that's 8 miles by road. So it might be further. So he's gone round this bend, probably around here, maybe. Because that's 8.7 miles to that bridge from Gay Street. But it's not following the line of the river. So until we get an actual, proper landmark, we don't know exactly where. But this area, I would imagine. Somewhere around here. So that's 7.2 miles in that direction. That's 9.3 miles. So maybe here. Maybe a bit further up, but around here. So they said West Nashville. So this is West Nashville. So, yeah. Occam's razor, yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that's come out, there's not been anything too wild, I don't think, that's come out. I don't know. Maybe I've weeded out the channels that are prone to be really out there. Maybe I've just weeded them out and YouTube doesn't show me them. But the potential that somebody might have robbed him and taken his shirt, that seemed very plausible to me. But obviously it didn't happen because he was wearing the clothes. So obviously it didn't happen. Could have happened, but it didn't. So the blurry figure running away just past the spot under the bridge could have been going home. I actually got a clearer set of that footage, and they're walking. They're actually walking. I don't know whether I saved it. I don't think I saved it. Maybe I saved it. No, I didn't save it. But I watched it. There was a quite clear, like that person with the white shirt. And they run a little bit and then they're just walking. They're probably just going home. Anyway, very sad news. And I guess let Riley's story be a warning that people need, clearly. Just be aware of your surroundings when you're out and about. Travel in pairs. But I am going to go now. I'm going to go. This was very unexpected. I was in the middle of something else and I just sat down and I thought, I'll just check Twitter, and lo and behold, there was this breaking news. So, all right. Thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you very soon. Don't think I did any donations, but that's fine. I got a bunch of donations yesterday from the Madeline Soto live stream. So thank you to everybody who donated yesterday. It was immense. I got loads and loads of new members as well. All right. Thank you as always to the mods, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. unless there's even more breaking news on another case. But yeah, bye guys.